Over the weekend, Barron's magazine wrote about some stocks that had been oversold during the market turmoil. And when the market opened Monday, some traders agreed with us. I'm Jack Otter, editor of Barrons.com. I'm here with Jack Howe, senior editor of the magazine. Every Monday, we talk about stocks up after a Barron's recommendation. Let's start with a story of yours. Two stocks that you mentioned. Let's start with American Airlines, up quite nicely, over 2% this morning.
The divide right now between the haves and the have-nots in this stock market is extremely wide. Some narrow leadership, a few high flyers have been running, a lot of other stocks have been left for dead. American Airlines, look, investors who've been at it for a while remember when airlines had moments of profitability and then huge losses.
Which went on for 67 years.
A long time. But this is a very different industry. It was forced into change, of course, by the Great Recession. There's also been rapid consolidation. You've got four big players today that are all financially strong. We don't yet know how disciplined they're going to be on capacity and pricing, but I suspect better than they have been in the past. And profits right now are, you get American Airlines at 5 times earnings right now. Profits are very high. The airline doesn't hedge. Oil has helped a lot. Oil, I think, has been a much larger factor in terms of profitability than capacity, pricing, this sort of thing. So, profits are closing in on $9 a share this year. Is there going to be more capacity? Probably. Is it going to hurt pricing? Maybe. Are profits going to fall? I think they probably will. But where are they going to come down to? From $9 you come down to $5, okay, you're 10 times earnings. I think what will happen here is investors will see that the downturns in airlines don't necessarily mean big losses from here forward. They just mean, like a company like Caterpillar, your profits get cut in half when the business goes into a downturn. Caterpillar right now, everything is going wrong in their business. They're 15 times earnings. If you cut American Airlines profits, you put it at 15 times earnings, you still got the stock up 50% from today's level.
Clearly, investors just don't believe these earnings. But like you say, there's some evidence maybe we should be believing them. Certainly anecdotally, I haven't been on a flight with any empty seats in a year or so. Clearly, they're just packing us in there and enjoying the profits.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to Coach.
Yeah.
This one scares me a little bit. Any of these fashion names, one day people like the handbags, the next day they don't. And of course, Coach didn't execute all that well recently. But the stock went, cut in half?
Yeah, cut in half. And the handbag market just got crowded fast. And it's not hard to see why. We've had years and years of clothing deflation. It's very hard to make money in the clothing business right now. Handbags were still fetching these high prices, so basically every designer out there said, hey, I got to get into handbags and get some profits right now. They've all done that. There's been some excess capacity there. But Coach has really been punished. It has closed underperforming stores. It's done a lot of remodelings. It's coming out with new designs. The stock is very cheap, right? The same-store sales have been plunging. UBS says they see signs of a second derivative term. Remember the phrase second derivative from the Great Recession? Everyone has said things are still getting worse, but let's see if we can spot the moment where they are getting worse slower than they have recently, which tends to happen just before they begin to get better.
That's really reassuring. Getting worse less quickly.
The same-store sales declines have come down from big double-digit declines to manageable single-digit ones, and they think that they might begin to go into same-store sales growth within the year. If that happens, you've got a stock here that's very cheap relative to earnings. They see a bottom in the stock.
And one more, very different kind of company that actually I think has a better handle on its market. This is Google. Obviously dominates in search, but you made a wonderful point in your story that the revenue was up of just YouTube was up there with a major network.
YouTube is absolutely massive. Men of our age might not see it because there are a lot of young viewers where their celebrities are YouTube celebrities, and they're tuning in there to shows just like people
they don't
like
come
us.
at night to turn on the Mets.
Right, exactly. So the growth is massive right now in YouTube. A 60% year-over-year increase in viewing time,
which is amazing. With revenues of $6.5 billion, you don't see 60% growth.
Networks are struggling to hold on to viewers. YouTube, there's tremendous growth there, and that's in addition to all the things that are going well for Google, of a firming of mobile ad prices, a continuing shift of ad dollars to online. So look, Google, you've got this stock at somewhere around 20 times earnings right now.
2.5, I think, yeah.
But first of all, great growth. Second of all, Google has been blowing tons of money, not blowing, but spending all this money on robots here and blimps there and who knows what.
Cars.
Let's just say that the operating expenses per worker at Google are almost double the level you see at the other tech giants like Apple and Microsoft. The company can get more efficient, and it has begun getting more efficient. I don't see another company this large out there with as clear of a path to doubling earnings in 4 years, perhaps even less right now. So if you're paying 20 times earnings, I actually think you're getting this stock at a bargain.
And there's a new CFO who seems to be cracking the whip.
Yep.
Thanks very much, Jack.
Thanks.